It doesn't stand out. And a kafir is someone who's indifferent to divine guidance. He or she can travel to any part of the world and see the mountains of Allah, the oceans of Allah, the landscapes of Allah, the different communities of Allah. Or they can hear the most vibrant, dynamic exposition of facts and guidance, but it will not touch their hearts or their minds. So don't think a kafir is somebody who's outside the Muslim community. All Muslims need to wake up. Don't think if you miss 3 Jummah you're a kafir. You can count a billion Jummah and you can be kafir from day one. A kafir is a mental disease with an attitude, I don't care about guidance. I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have energy. We are full of excuses. Deal with the Muslims. And they're full of excuses. Everybody has an excuse. But everybody wants to be in the camp. It's only in the Muslim community you tolerate this sloppiness. Muslims need to wake up. Because after a time, hard-heartedness can lead to what the Qur'an tells us, adhab, alim, hardships, difficulties. Look at the Muslim communities. What you think has happened to the Muslim countries? Do you realize the hardships they are enduring? The Arab world, Asia, Africa, wherever, you look at it. What do you think has happened to them? إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Anybody who knows Arabic will understand that well. And if you don't know the Arabic, here is the English. Allah does not interfere in your life or my life. Allah does not interfere in your efforts and my efforts. He welcomes the divine system, supports efforts of goodwill. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ. Whatever you see happening to individuals and families and communities and nations, it has nothing to do with God. It makes no sense to be raising your hands and your voices and begging God to change it. God didn't put it in the first case. It's humans like you and I who put it. And it is humans like you and I who have to change it, if we had enough. That's why the Qur'an says, ظَهَرَ الْفَسَادُ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. You look about the world, and what do you see? Tumult, chaos, confusion, destabilization, marginalization, exploitation. All over. بِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِي النَّاسِ. Who did it? People did it. He didn't say Allah did it. So who has to change it? لِيُذِيقَهُمْ بَعْضَ الَّذِي عَمِلُوا. All of this that you see, we are experiencing, that we get on the TV or on the telephone, or on the social media, or we get from our neighbors or our friends, or we happen to visit or witness, all the negatives in human society, it is humans who have caused it. All the backwardness of politics, economics, sociology, education, and religion, all the backwardness of all of this, the exploitation, the stagnation, the darkness of all of this, it is not Allah who caused it. It is humans like you and I. And it is humans like you and I who have to decide to change it. Because the Qur'an teaches us about Allah. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَظْلِمُ النَّاسَ شَيْئًا. God does not do the least harm or injustice to any human being. وَلَكِنَّ النَّاسَ أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. But it is people who wrong themselves. You want to see who is wrong? It is people who wrong themselves. Who made us stupid? Allah. Who made us hard-hearted, that week after week, month after month, year after year, we are hardly gravitating towards Qur'anic sense. Who did this? Allah? If we are satisfied with cheap Islam, cheap Qur'an, who's going to make the Qur'an real and dynamic to us? We like cheap life. We don't like cheap life when it comes to economics. We work like a donkey. We work 2 jobs. We work till we near to drop because we want that house. We want that car. We want these assets. We want our children to be this and this and that. We want that holiday. Where is our sincerity towards the Qur'an? It is time we wake up, brothers and sisters. It is time we do this for ourselves. This is my challenge as well as yours. Don't wait before it is too late. Don't wait until somebody is going to read your funeral prayers or my funeral prayer and then beg God for me. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Human beings are blessed with the capability to enact changes. We can still enhance this world in which we live in by teaching the world what the Qur'an talks about a better life. But you can see something is seriously wrong with the Muslims. In their own country, with all the ulama and all the fuqaha, and Muslims are suffering like never before. Because there is a universal law in nature that power accedes to nothing less than power that is greater. And right now, the Muslims don't have mental power. Their Islam doesn't make sense to their own people. Their prayer, I don't know who they're speaking to. Because if you talk to me, I'll talk back to you. And if I talk to you, you'll talk back to me. And Muslims claim they're talking to Allah. The question is, do they hear back any response? If I'm doing something night and day, 50 years in my life, or 60 years in my life, and nothing is able to talk back to me and tell me where I'm going wrong and where I'm going right, something is seriously wrong with me. I can assure you, Allah is not deaf. Allah is not dumb. Allah is not blind. So we must be talking to somebody else. I hope these words make sense to you. Please don't forget them. Take them to yourselves. Consider them. Sit with your family. If they have any sense, they belong to divine guidance. Where they make no sense, maybe that's mine. You can throw it away. But be aware that a man like yourself has reminded himself and reminded you, as he is mandated to save himself and his family from the fire, not when he's dead, but from the fire when he's alive. I hope you can focus on the fire that is consuming our lives in society, rather than wait for a fire when you're almost dead in this life, thinking you'll save it from there. Astaghfirullah li wa lakum wa li sa'iril mu'minina wal mu'minat fastaghfiruhu innahu huwal ghafur. Dear brothers and sisters, in conclusion, one tiny little reminder. One of the attributes, characteristics, feature of a kafir. In chapter 14, verse 2, الَّذِينَ يَسْتَحِبُّونَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا عَلَى الْآخِرَةِ. This needs to be understood. In life, there are 2 goals. Long-term goals and short-term goals. I'm sure you have long-term goals and you have short-term goals. But if you try to fulfill your short-term goals without considering your long-term goals, you'll be a big-time loser. If you make your children pursue short-term goals without it being a part and parcel of the long-term goals, they too will be big-time losers. The Qur'an is not telling you and me that there is no good in this world. It is telling us ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا